everybody. So this is the end of day 3, and it's been a very productive and informative day. I started off the day in the bond zone, in the activist zone, and I ended my day in the Bula zone, the policy zone. The interesting thing was today I chose to focus on only loss and damages due to climate change, which is a fascinating topic because for the most part it impacts low or middle income countries, but what COP, at least the activists in COP, are trying to do is to get higher income countries to fund adaptation and solutions to lower income countries who are facing loss and damage due to climate-induced natural disasters. The interesting thing that I got a feel for today is that the way that the climate activists and non-governmental organizations are talking about loss and damage is a bit different than the negotiations. It seems like there's a lot that climate activists and NGOs want to see happen that the COP negotiators are just starting to implement. And of course, because we have so many different countries at the table, negotiations take a lot longer, but climate change is happening right now for a lot of countries. I got to meet with a lot of inspiring people from countries who are facing the brunt of the impacts of climate change. And it was inspiring to see how they are being resilient, even though they're faced with such a big obstacle to overcome.
I know for a long time there was a great deal of focus on climate change as being a scientific curiosity, whether it was human-induced or just the normal natural cycle. And so the debate went on for quite a long time. And here we were sitting on the sideline, waiting to listen for the judgment, whether it was human-induced, how fast it was going, and the projections of the rise in sea level. Because our islands are so vulnerable. Whatever the rise, it is disastrous for us. And so, for us, we have to come to the brutal reality that we will be submerged underwater. The sea level rise is not the most immediate danger. It's the changes in the weather pattern. And I think we got to understand this. We, in our part of the world, we're on the equator. And so what we do is we create these storms and send them to our friends in Fiji, we send them up north, but they never stay with us. They are created on the equator. But for the first time in 2015, a cyclone was created in our part of the world, and it went south. It hit the islands of Vanuatu, severely damaged the islands of Vanuatu, came back and hit Tuvalu seriously, hit our southern islands seriously, and flooded most of our islands. And so this is an event that is taking place, and an event that is most likely to be more frequent into the future. And if it happens again and again, and if it happens with greater severity, I can guarantee you our islands will not be there to wait for the rise in sea level. We have no choice but to find somewhere else to go. The question we would ask, and I've been asked, I was asked yesterday in an event that I spoke at, is all of this that's going on, the Paris Agreement, Marrakesh, what we're here doing in Bonn, is it addressing your problem? And the frank answer is no. Because we're still talking about cutting emissions, we're still talking about limiting rising global temperatures. But I tell you, even if there is no more emissions, we cut zero emissions, every country here cuts emission to zero. Our islands will still go underwater. Many of our people will have to migrate. And so, the one word that hit me when there was discussion of displacement of people due to climate change was climate refugees, and I said no. No climate refugees. And this is when I started finding some way of making a dignified exit. And so I came up with the terminology, migration with dignity. And so the idea of migration with dignity is that we know that it's coming. We know that not all of our people can be accommodated in whatever islands we raise. And so let's prepare our people, educate them, train them so that they can, as a matter of choice, choose to migrate wherever they choose to go. As people with international qualifications. And I joke to the people our people that I meet in different countries, I say, this is my vision. And I'd love to see one of you one day go to the parliament of this country, and I'd love to see one day to see one of you become prime minister in this country. That is my definition of migration with dignity.
Today was a wonderful day. I'm excited for day 4 and can't believe I'm almost halfway done with the conference. Talk to you soon. Bye.